If you think you can turn $10 into $10,000 in a month, you're already thinking like the 95% who lose money in the market. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying it because that belief is exactly what the market uses against you. People don't lose money because they're stupid. They lose money because they're impatient, because they want results before they understand the game they're playing. Now imagine this. Two people enter the market with the same $10. One of them is chasing fast money, watching charts every minute, jumping into whatever's going up, listening to tips, reels, headlines, influencers. The other one is quiet, observing, thinking, waiting. A few weeks later, the first guy is either lucky or broke. The second guy hasn't made much money yet, but he hasn't lost it either. And that's where everything starts to separate. Because the real game of investing is not about how fast you can make money. It's about how long you can stay in the game without losing it. That's the part nobody talks about. While most people are trying to predict the market, the smartest investors are doing something completely different. They're ignoring it. Not completely, but emotionally. They don't care what the market is doing today or tomorrow. What they care about is simple. What is this business actually worth? That's it. Not hype, not trends, not opinions. Value. Because once you understand value, the entire game changes. Let's say there's a company actually worth $100 based on its assets, earnings, and stability. But for some reason, the market is offering it at $60. Most people won't buy it because it's not trending. Nobody's talking about it. It feels boring. But this is exactly where the opportunity is. Getting $100 worth of value for $60 is not risk, that's advantage. And this is the shift most people never make. They don't think in terms of value, they think in terms of price movement. If it's going up, they want in. If it's going down, they want out. That's not investing, that's reacting. And reacting is expensive. Now, here's something that will change how you see the market forever. The market behaves like a person, not a rational person, an emotional one. Benjamin Graham called him Mr. Market. Every single day, Mr. Market offers you a price. Some days he's excited and offers high prices. Some days he's depressed and offers low prices. But here's the key. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to follow him. You can ignore him. Or you can use him. When he's fearful, prices drop. When he's greedy, prices rise. And most people do the exact opposite of what they should. They buy when prices are high because it feels safe. They sell when prices are low because it feels dangerous. And that's why they lose. Now, let's talk about the idea that brought you here, turning $10 into $10,000. Yes, it's possible, but not in one move, not in one trade, and definitely not in 1 month. It happens through a system, a repeatable way of thinking, a process. And it starts with something most people ignore: protection. Before you think about making money, you need to make sure you're not losing it. That means no random trades, no chasing hype, no following noise, only acting when the odds are clearly in your favor. Then comes patience. This is where most people fail, because good opportunities don't show up every day. Sometimes the best move is to do nothing, and doing nothing feels uncomfortable. But that discomfort is where discipline is built. Now comes the core idea: margin of safety. If something is worth $100, you don't buy it at $100. You buy it at $70, $60, maybe even less. That gap is your protection. That's what keeps you safe when you're wrong. And being wrong is part of the game. Now here's where things get interesting. The biggest opportunities in the market never look like opportunities when they appear. They look like problems. They feel risky. They feel uncomfortable. Because if something looked like a guaranteed win, everyone would jump in and the opportunity would disappear instantly.
So real opportunities hide behind uncertainty. And that's where most people walk away. But that's where disciplined investors step in. Not because they're fearless, but because they're prepared. They've done the work, they understand the business, they trust their process. So while others panic, they act quietly. Now imagine this. A company with strong fundamentals starts falling, not because it's broken, but because the market is reacting emotionally. Bad news spreads, people sell, fear increases, the price drops even more. At that moment, everything around you tells you to stay away. But if you've done your homework, you see something different. You see value. And for the first time, you're not reacting, you're deciding. So you invest. Not aggressively, not emotionally, just logically. And then, nothing happens. Days pass, weeks pass, no excitement, no big gains, just silence. And this is where most people fail. They get impatient, they doubt themselves, they exit too early, right before things turn. Because eventually, the market corrects itself. The panic fades, the price stabilizes, and slowly it starts rising. The same people who were afraid earlier now feel confident. They come back in, late. And that's when you realize something powerful. You were early because you were prepared. Not lucky, prepared. This is the difference. Now, here's the part that changes everything. You don't need one big win. You need a system that works again and again. Small gains, controlled risks, consistent decisions. That's how money grows. $10 becomes $20, $20 becomes $100, $100 becomes $1,000, and over time, $10,000. Not because of luck, but because of discipline. Because you stayed in the game. Because you avoided big losses. Because you thought differently. Now, let's go deeper. The biggest advantage you have is not information. Everyone has information. Your advantage is behavior. If you can stay calm when others panic, you win. If you can wait when others rush, you win. If you can think independently, you win. Simple, but not easy. And that's why most people never do it. They want action. They want excitement. They want fast results. But the market rewards patience. Now, imagine yourself a few months from now. You're not checking prices every minute. You're not reacting to every headline. You're focused, calm, intentional. You understand what you're doing, and slowly your results reflect that. Not overnight, but consistently. And this is where the real shift happens. You stop chasing money and start building it. Now let's come back to the question. Can you turn $10 into $10,000? Yes, but not by chasing shortcuts, not by gambling, not by following the crowd, but by doing the one thing most people refuse to do. Thinking differently, acting patiently, and staying disciplined long enough for the process to work. Because once you understand this, the market stops being confusing. It stops being emotional. It becomes logical, predictable in behavior. And that's when everything changes. So the next time you see something rising fast, pause. The next time you see something falling, analyze. And in those small decisions, your future starts to shift. Because success in investing is not built in big moments. It's built in small, consistent actions, repeated over time. So if someone could do this without modern tools, without instant data, without everything you have today, then the real question is not whether it's possible. The real question is, will you do it? Because now you know. And once you know, you can't go back. So the next move is yours.